Yo, we're back with the hot news from London town with our boy Billy Body. Boom.
Yeah, so I put out two big stories this week. So I want to discuss them with you guys because it's good to like go back and forth with these. I already sent you guys the Sasha Banks story. We put an audio clip out for it. It wasn't anything saying that she was going to be in AEW or not. It was a collection of information as to why I think she will end up there. You all got the story, so I don't know if anybody wants to pick out parts that you want to.
But do you think? Let me ask you. I'll ask you a question right up the back because I actually asked Disco this. Do you think that because they mentioned her last week, the boss, and they were alluding that she was coming, and everybody saying she was coming? Do you think that they were negotiating, but they just never came to an agreement?
Well, because no, what's her name? No Mercedes was trending on Twitter last night because she didn't show up, and everybody thought she was because of that the line Britt Baker said and stuff. But Billy basically had reported that like she was she had like a lot of she was jealous of Charlotte and Becky of their money or Becky. Well, I think not Charlotte too, just Becky. Like, what's her heat with Becky? Go over that. That's interesting. Go for heat with Becky.
Yeah, I think that was the main takeaway because it was for me. It was a learning point. Like I only learned about that a few weeks ago. I didn't know that was a big issue. So to run through this very quickly and chronologically, all three girls came in 2015. They all started on the basic main roster deal when you come up from NXT. Charlotte obviously got her big 5-year deal with a big number first. Sasha followed, and Becky. She ran it all the way to the wire. So they basically just renewed her for pretty much the same money that she came up for because she wasn't obviously doing much. From that point onwards, we then had we then had Charlotte get a 7-figure deal. We then had Becky Lynch. Pushed to the moon, and then we then had Sasha Banks in the tag team match at WrestleMania 35, while the other two girls were in the main event. Now, when Sasha was asked to come back to work in 2019, in the winter of 2019, she said that she wanted to get the same money as Charlotte, not the same money as Becky. Now, she had just signed. So as I was saying, those 3-year deals, they got replaced by 5-year deals, and Charlotte was on the most money, and Sasha was on the second most money, and she only signed a new deal in 2016, the week before. You remember the girls did the main event for Hell in a Cell. So Sasha didn't want that. Sasha didn't want to come back on that deal anymore, which was over $500,000, by the way. So they gave her what she wanted. They brought her in, and she got pretty much the same money as Charlotte. And immediately, as soon as she signed it, she did jobs to Becky. But the catalyst of Sasha feeling that she was worth more was because Becky was getting more money, and Sasha didn't like it because she's always felt that Charlotte Flair is Charlotte Flair. Yes, she probably felt she was better than her, but she accepted it. She did not accept that Becky Lynch was pushed. And when she came back, it's been said across the board, like by numerous people, that there was a very negative attitude towards Becky. There was a very negative attitude in general. She became difficult. There was race related issues, and this was a new thing that Sasha did. She became very horrible to fans. It had been picked up like how she was always.
That's a recurring story, but her treatment of fans.
Yeah, her treatment of fans became horrible, particularly when she came back. The main positive about that article was the fact that when Becky left, Sasha became absolutely inspired, was on time, did her best work, was pushed on TV, and ended up main eventing WrestleMania with Bianca, which is something that she wanted to do. She wanted to drop the belt to Bianca. She wanted to have that match with her, and they let her do it because she did work hard during 2020. But then obviously she went back to normal and being difficult and whatnot. So the catalyst of everything was these three girls coming in together, Charlotte being paid first, Sasha being paid second, and then Becky obviously getting over beyond all of them. The main catalyst of the jealousy was the fact that Becky not only got Charlotte money, she got 3 times more than Charlotte with a tour bus, a contract negotiated by
Becky has a tour bus?
Becky has a tour bus. Seth Rollins doesn't have a tour bus.
Oh my God.
They go in Becky's tour bus. Becky's got a tour bus. She's got $3 million a year. She's represented by William Morris Endeavor. She's represented by $7 Promotions and The Rock with Danny Garcia. Like this, she is the mega star, apart from Roman. She's the second biggest star in the company. And Sasha's nowhere near it, and she hates it. So
now, let me ask you a question. Do you think Sasha's stock rose when she was on The Mandalorian?
Mandalorian was something that she got for herself with the agents that she signed for, which certainly wasn't William Morris Endeavor, and it wasn't $7 Promotions either. So it's to her credit that when Becky was, but to be fair, Becky hasn't even done too much with the people that she signed with at this point in time. But it's always there for her. But Sasha went out and got that for herself. Her own agent went and got it for her. She asked them to get something for her. So yeah, I mean, the stock obviously rises, but WWE barely acknowledged it because it wasn't done through them. She didn't do the show as Sasha Banks. She did it as Mercedes anyway. So this, in their eyes, just adds to the difficulty. Remember, this is a Vince-run company at the time where that sort of stuff isn't as accepted as it is now when it's a Triple H-run company, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. So, yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying, that there's generally not a lot of sympathy towards her, and not many people are unhappy that she's gone. The one person that was Triple H, and he did try and get her back. There was pictures to have her back in Boston. So to explain how that's possible, and this is the main thing that my story was getting to, all this stuff was sidebars. The main reason this is possible is because Sasha Banks signed a 3-year contract in 2019. Being friends with Rey Mysterio, Conan knows that you can't get out of these contracts unless you actually work the period. So even if you're injured or you take time off, and Sasha takes a lot of vacations, even though the contract is supposed to expire in September 2022, she owed dates that would have took her halfway into 2023. So, and she didn't get anywhere near work in September. So
make makeup dates.
Yeah, makeup dates, exactly. Right. So she basically had to do the makeup dates, or she had to sit there till January and give up her royalties and stay on a WWE contract. And basically the royalties were accepted as a buyout of the contract. And that's why she's able to do what she wants to do and work for wrestling companies as of 2023.
So she's done with WWE completely.
She's done with WWE legally at this point. But the fact is that my understanding is that she has a high-end lifestyle with cars and looking after herself and the places that she wants to go, hotels that she wants to stay in, etc., all of that. And somebody's going to need to pay these bills. Somebody's going to need to pay Sasha Banks what she's worth. And if she's turning down $1 million a year to come back to WWE on a brand new contract, which would have been for 5 years, which would have been involved in storylines that she wanted to do, working with people that she wanted to work with getting everything that she wanted except the tour bus and all of these perks that Becky has. Obviously, she also wanted reduced dates as well, which they didn't want to give her. So she turned that down. I was under the impression that for her to turn that down, somebody must have been giving her what she wanted. Obviously, we saw on Wednesday, either that hasn't come to fruition yet, or New Japan are paying her so much money that AEW have to wait because New Japan have already purchased the rights for the return. The thing that I don't understand is New Japan is in an arena that holds 3,000 people. Sasha Banks hasn't sold the tickets out because if she was this big star that she thinks she is, like she thinks she's the same as Becky, why is the show not sold out immediately with Sasha Banks being on it? It's only 3,000 people. Roman Reigns, John Cena, Becky Lynch, Brock Lesnar, they would all sell out the show immediately. And this is where Sasha thinks that she is, but she isn't because the show's still available with tickets. So I don't understand that. But
which show is this, Billy?
The one she's working with Kairi Sane.
Yeah, what is it called, or what is it?
It's in Meltzerville. It's in San Jose.
Oh, the New Japan show in San Jose.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll see.
Yo, what up? This is Conan, and I host Keeping It 100, my co-host, Disco Inferno, unfortunately.
Well, I'd say you're my co-host.
Listen, every Thursday here on Spreaker, we talk pro wrestling, sports, movies, music, TV, pop culture, and some politics. It's everything the rest of the pro wrestling podcasts are not.
Tune in to hear myself, the superior one, educate and inform.
Tune in to hear me bury Disco.
That's very disrespectful.
Join us every Thursday on Spreaker and keep it 100. Boom!